Welcome back to the Cabbage Patch. I'm Dad.
I'm Tommy.
And I'm Gus.
What did we play over the last, 2 weeks or 3 weeks?
Like 5 weeks, I think.
No, it hasn't been that long. We played Gloomhaven, Jaws of the
Lion,
which is it came out 2 years ago, and we just now got around to playing it. It's a fantasy adventure game. It's very combat heavy. It's very low role play, although you are leveling your character up as you play it and gaining items and collecting stuff and following an interesting story. It takes place on these map boards, which are in this book. And then sometimes the map needs to be bigger, so there's a supplemental book that makes the map bigger. And then your characters, which are these cool little models, and there's 4 characters that it comes with. There's a Void Warden, a Hatchet, a Red Guard, and a Demolitionist. So we're playing a 3-player game. Gus, who are you?
I was the Hatchet.
What's the Hatchet's job?
Stay far away and basically just throw axes.
Stay far away and throw axes. Okay, Gus, or Tommy, who are you?
I can't remember his name.
The Red Guard.
Red Guard.
The Red Guard.
My goal is to take damage and kill everything.
Take damage and kill everything. You also can pull your enemies toward you and do things like that. Gus, when you throw your axes, sometimes the axes knock the enemies away. And I was the Void Warden, and he or she, I think it's a she model actually, is the healer, more or less. Also, my character's job is to give you guys extra attacks and
buffs.
And extra buffs, like making it so you have advantage when you take another attack, or give you a shield so that you take less damage, or
also apparently really hard to use.
It has its challenge, or control the monsters and make the monsters do things that they don't want to do. So you're the tank, you're the ranged guy / crowd control, I guess, and then I'm the healer and crowd control. So I make you faster and better, and you pick people off at distance, and you go in, wander in, and take damage. The interesting thing about this game is how many missions did we have to take to learn how to play it? 5. There were 5. So you learn the rules of the game, which is why we're not going to talk about the rules much at all, other than it's a hex map and your characters move around it, and it's mostly combat based.
And you attack with cards.
Yeah, you use cards to plan your moves and your actions, so your moves and attacks, and each character has special powers and abilities, and the monsters have special powers and abilities, and it's a pretty darn complicated game, so it takes 5 missions to learn all the rules. And that's fun because they take the first mission sort of easy mode, and then they add more rules to the second mission, and they add more rules to the third mission, so by the time you're facing your first boss on the 5th mission, you've got all the kinds of traps. You've seen 3 or 4 or 5 different kinds of enemies. You've found treasures. You've gone shopping at the shop in town. You've encountered things in the city. And you've pretty much chased down a pretty creepy story around in the city of Gloomhaven. Gloomhaven itself is a much bigger game. This is Gloomhaven, Jaws of the Lion. Although you apparently can use the characters from here in the main Gloomhaven game.
Do we have no play?
So, there are 25 missions in the base game. We played the first 5, and they took about an hour a piece. Sometimes a little longer, sometimes a little less. We made some mistakes. Those videos will be linked here. Because it's
down below in the description.
It'll be at the end. Yeah, it'll be either in the description or at the end of the thing.
That just to show how complicated and hard this game can be. The one with the least health won barely.
Well, yeah. So
everyone else was dead.
We weren't paying much attention to our rolls, and we kind of cheated in that game because I got one-shotted early on. But yeah, it's a pretty brutal game, but it's a lot of fun. What did you like about it, Gus?
The models.
The models are very cool.
The way you store
Oh yeah, so you save your game between sections. So you
And
put
these little envelope things.
as you level your character up and buy stuff, you get cards, and then you put the cards in a special envelope, and then that basically saves your game between sessions. That is pretty cool. What about the story?
Yeah, the story was really cool.
The story is really cool, and we were using the Foreteller app, which cost money.
Link to
But
that in the description.
if you listen to the playthroughs when we do the playthroughs, it here, I'll just play a little bit of it. It puts real voice acting into the game.
It will be good to get back to the sleeping lion. After a fortnight going up and down the still river, chasing a bad lead on a missing blacksmith, you can almost feel the warmth of the inn's hearth when Gloomhaven's walls come into view.
And it plays those story bits as you go through the adventures, and at certain points during certain of the adventures there'll be another story hint to play, which you either read out loud or you use the app to play. There's also a helper app that helps you keep track of turns and items and things like that. I haven't figured out how to use it yet. So what did you like, Tommy?
Well, I liked the constructible map
Yeah.
thing. The card-based combat.
The card-based actions. Mm-hmm.
And the fact that it doesn't rely on luck, mostly.
Yeah, so you have to plan out your actions. Yeah. There's a little bit of luck, because if we're all supposed to pick our actions without telling each other what we're doing, except for in general terms. So sometimes he'll move out of the way when I was planning on healing you, or Gus will move into your way when you were planning on thwacking somebody. I don't think we made too many mistakes when we were going through it, but it's a game, so it was fun. And if the mistakes we made, they didn't, I don't think they ruined anything for us. So.
Well, I mean, we would have had to do like 6 pods if
we would have had to do the last mission over again, but you guys can watch that and see why that happened. That was fun. I enjoyed it a great deal. I like the card I like planning out your turns, and then having to decide what card you're going to give up between sections of the turns, because when you run out of cards, you have to take what they call a rest, which means then you're going to lose one of your cards for the rest of that particular adventure. You get them all back at the end of the next adventure. I like the customizing of the character. It reminds me an awful lot of playing a video game, or you're doing a build of a character, right? So there's probably all sorts of things that we should have done differently if we were to go watch somebody's YouTube video. But I like the customization of the character as they level up. The items are neat, and you do have to think a bit, so you can't just sort of rush in. And each of your characters has to play their role. I think that's the big lesson from this, is you got to play the role. It's a very cool game. I really enjoyed it. I think we're ready to go ahead, and unless there's anything else you want to say before we give it a score?
He might make like a super thing of all of the Gloomhaven episodes, and just like mash them all together.
I already did that. They're already linked all together. There's all 5 of them in there, so they'll
But
be
like
able-
you could,
yeah.
like a compilation.
Yep.
kind
There's
of
a
thing.
playlist. There's a playlist, so you'll be able to watch all 5 hours of it if you really want to. Nobody's gonna do
Yay!
that. Anything else before we give it a score?
Nope.
Okay, I'm ready to give it a score. You ready to give it a score?
Yeah.
Yeah. You go first.
3.
Yeah, I think you're gonna give it a 3 because we played it 5 times now, and we're probably gonna play through the whole adventure. I think I'm gonna give it a 3 as well. I think we can give this a 9 cabbages.
Yeah.
It's less role playing than D&D, but very fantasy themed. It's got cool miniatures. It's got fun combat and an interesting story. And there's other than the length of the gameplay, and this is a game we'll end up playing probably throughout Christmas.
So this will probably take about 25 hours.
Yeah, probably. It's like playing a video game, actually. So all in, it'll probably take about 25 hours. Some of them will be. I don't think you play all 25 missions. I think there's some branches.
So if you play all 25 missions in one day, you'll go into the second day.
You'll go into the second. Nobody's going to do that. Yeah. So 9 cabbages. It's a lot of fun.
So yeah, you'll get about 25 hours of play time.
All right, at least, and you can replay it. And there's a way to reset it. And again, there are 4 characters, and we only used 3 of them, so we haven't even tried the
The way that
demolitionist.
we said it is, I'm pretty sure getting like some sort of version of it where the stickers are removable.
Yeah, I get so. As you track your progress through the game, you track it on this city map, and you put stickers on the map,
And they normally don't.
and they normally don't come off. But this really is just to track your progress through the game. We're not using it at all. It doesn't seem. And then there's some surprises still to come. There are these boxes full of special models, presumably, that are going to come into play somewhere later in the mission.
They
Anyway,
might be big
watch.
bad guys, or they might be upgrades to our characters.
It could be anything. I'm not going to open them until we get to it. That's it. All right. Well, I guess that's
They
it.
could be just like big piles of cheese.
They're probably not piles of cheese. All right. Are we done?
Yep.
Ready to do the outro?
Subscribe, like, hit the bell, Tommy.
Leave a comment if you wish.
Eat plenty of cabbages, not us though.
Because some people may be vulnerable or to the jaws of the lion.
All right. Well, thanks so much. We'll see you next time.
Goodbye.